We're finishing up lesson 14 here, lines 296 to 299. And the queen now is going to figure out what's going on. At regina dolus, quis fallere possit amantem praesensit, motus quex capit prima futuros omnia tuta timens, eadim pia fama florenti detulit armari classem cursumque parari. But the queen perceived the tricks or the deceits here. So the queen is the subject, regina. Praesensit, perceived or suspect or divines, and dolos is the accusative, tricks, from dolum. And then you have this little side comment here too, quis fallere possit amantem, who would be able to deceive a lover. So you have a subject here, quis, who would be able to deceive. That's a complementary infinitive with possit, a lover. And possit here is a present subjunctive of possum. I really like the order here too that Vergil uses. He mentions the queen first and the verb last, right? But the queen, the tricks, who could deceive a lover? And this kind of prompts you, I think, for this next part, divined what was going on, right? Divined them, or suspected them, or sensed them. We have the word sense it here. She had a presentiment of them. She is not easily tricked because she is in love with Aeneas and she notices any change that seems to happen with him. Motus quex capit prima futuros omnia tuta timens. She was prima. Now this word modifies, this adjective modifies the regina. She first, ex capit, received, or figured out, or got wind of is the idea. She first received or caught the motus futuros, the future movements, or the movements that were about to be. In other words, she figured out that there was going to be an exodus from Carthage, and she figured out that Aeneas was going to leave her. She caught these. However she did it, she figured it out. Omnia tuta timens, fearing, omnia, everything, and you have to put in here, in English, even tuta, even safe things. So the idea is that she's on her guard, and she is apprehensive, and anything sets her off, or if anything gives her cause for alarm. Fearing everything, even safe things. So one more time. But the queen perceived the tricks. Who is able to deceive a lover? And was the first to catch, and she first caught the future movements, fearing everything, even safe things, or no matter how safe. So we could figure that she figured this out because she was so on her guard. She was ultra sensitive to any changes and to this whole relationship as, in general, her and Aeneas. Ead impia fama furenti detulit armari classem cursumque parari. Eadem is the same. It comes from the pronoun isdem, eadem, idem, and it means the same. It's basically just the pronoun is eaid, but with dem added on to the end of it as an ending. and then there's a few spelling changes that happen. So you might want to review that declension, isdem, eadem, idem. The same evil rumor. Okay, those all go together. And one tricky thing to remember about isdem, eadem, the ending is really in the middle of the word because dem is just added on to it. All of the forms of isdem, eadem, and idem end in dem, but that's not the ending. So it's not accusative, you might think, because you see that M. The ending is really in the middle of the verb, the noun. So the same impious or evil rumor, detulit, brings. This is from de pharaoh, or brought, it's perfect. The same impious rumor brought furenti. You got to add in ae, and actually it's dative, so I'll use the dative color here. Ae, to her, furenti, raging in passion, right, for Aeneas. So the same evil rumor brought to her raging, and we're going to see a lot of imagery of Dido raging. In the beginning, she's raging with passion for Aeneas, as now, but soon she's going to be raging in anger. Armari classem cursumque parari. Rumor brought to her the news, okay? The Vergil leaves this out, but you should put the nuntium is understood. The news that the classem, the fleet, armari, is being armed, or was being armed. And this is a infinitive, a present passive infinitive from armo, armare. But because our main verb is in the past, then it puts this whole thing in the past. Rumor brought to her that the fleet was being armed, because it's passive, or the news that the fleet was being armed, and the news that a cursum parari, that a course, and another passive infinitive here, was being prepared, a course out of Carthage to Italy, a route. Okay, one more time that part. The same wicked rumor brought to her raging the news that the fleet was being armed and a course was being prepared. That does it for 14. Valete omnes.